do you call these flowers again?
They're soursobs.
Soursobs.
Yeah.
This little stem.
Really sour, right?
It's real sour. It's like sour candy. Soursob. South Australian thing, apparently. Primary school.
Walk to the oval. Nibble on some soursob, baby.
Apologies for the delay on this episode.
We've been real busy.
After last episode when Melly's injector pump blew up, our plans changed a bit. We got back to my apartment in Melbourne for the first time in over a year.
Explored a bit of South Australia and headed up north to Darwin for a music festival and did some camping.
This episode's the first time I went to the parts stores and put down any real money on Susie. Also picked up a bunch of new wheels and springs to go in there in the future. So enjoy this episode. We spent a lot of money making it. Parts day. Always been real good to me at Wayno's. They even gave me a hat. First job I want to get done with these new parts. Brake shoes for the park brake. Replacement springs for them. Gonna tidy this drum up. Not too worried about the scoring in there. I just want to take this lip off here. Here's my new toy. Haven't used it yet. Thought it would come in handy for the truck rebuild. It's trash. Don't buy one of these if you want to use a buffing wheel this big, I think. That's all it'll do. Garbage. This is cleaned up good enough. Good enough for a handbrake anyway. So bloody disappointing. Wrong brake shoes. These ones look like they're from a bigger diameter drum. And I gave him my my chassis number, the VIN number, and he didn't say there was two different types or anything, so I'll chase that up. In the meantime, I'll just leave it disassembled. Put the drum in there. The drum has to go on there to take up the extra space. Getting pretty sick of putting this cover on and off Susie every time I need to bring her into the workshop. This POR 15 paint is UV sensitive, so you can't just leave it out in the sunlight. It's okay on the chassis once the tray's on the back, but until I put the tray back on, I'm gonna have to keep putting this cover on and off. I'm gonna cut the tarp up a bit better and make a more permanent solution. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Not really looking forward to doing this job. There's an oil leak here. I think it's coming from the axle seal. So all this is gonna have to come apart. While I've got this apart, I'll probably have a look at the shoes, the drum. I got a new dust boot for this outside, and then there's another seal that sits in behind that for the swivel hub. I've been moving the truck in and out of the workshop at the end of each day, but this one's gonna take more than a day, I reckon. Got my field service workshop set up. done one of these before, so it's a bit of a figure it out as you go adventure. Definitely looks like a jack and bolt here. Nice. That's a little retaining locking ring, and behind that should be the wheel nut. Pretty fresh. Brand new shoes on the front. It's got the spindle off. That is not really how you want that to look in there. Looks like a fair bit of corrosion on the CV joint. I'd say she's fucked. Viewers may have noticed the shift in time between when I started this job to now. I just said to Emanuela yesterday, wow, that swivel hub job that I was really not looking forward to was super easy. Susie was so easy to work on. That was a mistake. So obviously someone's been in here at some stage. This boot here is held on by a cable tie. Normally that should be some sort of stainless steel tie. A beefy axle. That's both the rears rebuilt now. Be able to bolt those back on tomorrow. I filled in a couple of rust holes here with bog, and I also cleaned up the axle here and painted that so it's ready to take back on there. Didn't quite get done what I expected to get done this swing. I expected to have the hubs back together on the front and the rears back together and the wheels painted and on, but didn't quite make it that far. After pulling this front left-hand side apart and realizing that water got in there and that's what was leaking out of the hub, that the CV joint was all pitted and ruined, and that kind of made me think that if there was that much water in there to stuff that up, then I should be changing the wheel bearings and the kingpin bearings as well. I'll reorder, and now that I'm going to do the front wheel bearings, I might as well do the other side as well. The other side didn't have any water in it. The other side actually looks pretty good, but I'll change the wheel bearings on the other side. As for the back, if I didn't change the wheel bearings, I feel like I'd just be paranoid. So I'm going to order new wheel bearings for the back. So once they get here, it should just be bearings in and she'll be back up on her wheels again. Babe, should we go out for an adventure and film like the closing scene?
Makes sense. Thanks for watching. I'm doing this so I don't have to get out of bed.